I had to wait for that thing to freaking finish. We did pretty good. We're still on chapter 1. This idiotic thing popped up with Skizzlax. He's cool, but I hate when it does that idiotic stuff. Devil's trying to get me to cuss. I'm not gonna do it. Haha. 39:21. Proverbs 16:7. Okay. Proverbs 16:7. You know what? We can just keep that there. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. But there's no cross references here, so we can't actually do that. Doggone it. Proverbs 16. Okay, so 39:21, Acts 7:9. Acts 7:9. Oh, I love that. Takes you to Genesis 39:21, which takes you to Acts 7:9, which takes you to Genesis 37:4. Genesis 37:4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. Okay, so we are done with chapter 1. We're going to move on to chapter 2. Okay. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, and in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Oh, dude, Pastor Mike was just talking about something. Matthew chapter 24. For many shall come in my name. And Jesus answered and said, verse 4, 24, verse 4 of Matthew. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So what happened? Wherewith his spirit was troubled, and sleep brake from him. Notice the word break, like you break something. You know what is that? Okay, particularly, what does that word mean? Break from him. break from him. Noun, any of a genus of tall ferns. Past, archaic, past of break. These are all nouns. Break, to retard or stop by a break. His spirit and his sleep break from him. So it's like part of your life is eating and sleeping, and so that's broken off. That means there was no sleep. He had no sleep. To operate or manage a brake. To apply the brake on a vehicle. To become checked by a brake. Something used to slow down or stop movement or activity. A toothed instrument or machine for separating out the fiber of flax or hemp by breaking up the woody parts. A machine for bending, flanging, folding, and forming sheet metal. Okay, so past of break. When you break something, you sleep break from him. Um, PQR. A device for slowing or stopping a vehicle. Verb, to slow or stop by, as if by a brake. Anything that has a slowing or stopping effect. Brake. A device for slowing or stopping. Okay. In his sleep, break from him. Stopped from him, slowed from him. A device for slowing or stopping a vehicle. A device for slowing or stopping a vehicle. Okay. Brakes, the drums, plural. Drum shoes, etc. Making up such a device on a vehicle. Anything that has a slowing or stopping effect. Slowing or stopping effect. Break from his... In his sleep, break from him. like broke off from him. Braise to cook food by frying quickly in fat and then simmering in liquid in a covered pot. Oh, wow. So break from. Arrgh. Well, actually, just go from, verse to verse, but when there's a cross-reference, we'll just go at it and then, I think. I'm kind of wondering if I should just read it through first and then. Yeah, what the heck, we did that with the first one. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. You can tell he wasn't walking with God because Jesus Christ said, don't be troubled. Even says, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In 24 verse, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to shew the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream. O king, live forever. Stupid ass dogs. Live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will shew the interpretation. Sorry, you guys, I have a stuffy flipping nose. And we will shew the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, you shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. He had a stupid attitude about stuff like that. But if ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore shew me the dream and the interpretation thereof. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will shew the interpretation of it. Like you're about to find out, I think they're stalling for time. They answered again and said, let the king, the king answered and said, I know of certainty that ye would gain the time, because ye see the thing is gone from me. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. So he wanted this done by a certain time, and after that time he can't go back on his word. Once they were stalling for time, that way after a certain time they could be in the clear. till the time be changed. Okay, for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can shew me the interpretation thereof. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asked such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean, and it is a rare thing that the king requireth. And there is none other that can shew it before the king except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. Interesting. What I find very interesting is the Chaldeans answered before the king in verse 10 and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asked such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. He says, they said, there is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. And it is a rare thing. It is a rare thing that the king requireth. He said it's not an impossible thing. It's a rare thing. That means it tells me that there's been kings that have required it before. Because it's a rare thing. If it's rare, then that means it's very once in a while. It's been a thing that has been required. And there is none other that can shew it before the king, except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. Verse 12, for this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Wow. If the eunuch or whoever was over Daniel, if he was still there, then why didn't he... These people were... Daniel said, try us and see if we're not 10 times better. So I would have sought after him to get an interpretation of it. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Freaking nose. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time and that he would shew the king the interpretation. Shew the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in the night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God for ever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me now what we desired of thee, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch. Hold on a second, you guys. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon, bring me in before the king. Wait, what? Oh. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon, bring me in before the king, and I will shew unto the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Belteshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king, and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise man, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers shew unto the king. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes, but for their sakes that shall make, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king. But for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest so that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. The clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broke into pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. excuse me. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. They shall not cleave. Okay. And in the days of these kings, hold on, you guys. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain, without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, Of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods, and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Wow. Hold on, guys. Okay. Chapter 2, verse 1. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Genesis 41:8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Daniel chapter 4, verse 5. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. Daniel chapter 2, verse 1. Okay. Goes right back to here. Verse 2, same thing. Genesis 41:8. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to shew the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. Daniel chapter 5 verse 7. The king cried aloud to bring the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spoke and said to the wise men of Babylon, Whosoever shall read this writing and shew me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Isaiah 47:13. Hold on. 47:13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Isaiah 44:25. That frustrateth the tokens of the liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish. Maketh their knowledge foolish. Wow. Second Kings 10:27. Okay. The king answered and said to verse 5 of chapter 2. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, The thing is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream, excuse me, with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. 2 Kings 10:27. 2 Kings 10:27. Second Kings 10:27. And they break down the image and they break down the image of Baal, and break down the house of Baal, and made it a draught house unto this day. 2 Kings 10:27. And that one has a scripture reference, Ezra 6:11. Ezra 6:11. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. Ezra 6:11. Also, I have made a decree that whosoever shall alter this word, let timber be pulled down from his house, and being set up, let him be hanged thereon, and let his house be made a dunghill for this. Daniel chapter 2 verse 5. Daniel chapter 3 verse 29 is the other reference. 3:29. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver that after this sort. Then why do you still have them under their names, their false names? That's what I want to know. Verse 9, chapter 2, verse 9. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can shew me the interpretation thereof. Esther 4:11. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther 4:11. 10 chapters. Esther 4:11. All the king's servants and the people, all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his, to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. Esther chapter 5 verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel, and stood in the inner court of the king's house over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. Okay, Daniel chapter 2 verse 11. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can shew it before the king, except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. Daniel 2:28. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. The dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. That they would desire mercies, of the God of heaven, mercies of the God of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Desire mercies. Then Daniel went to his house, verse 17, and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Matthew 18:12. Matthew 18. How think ye? How think ye? How think ye if a man have 100 sheep? How think ye if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99, and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? Luke 15:4. What man of you having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doth not leave the 99 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost, until he find it? Well, we've been going 49 minutes now. Oh, shoot. Chapter 2. Damn. 49 verses. Matthew 18:12. Okay, so Daniel chapter 2, verse 20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. That's, I guess, taken from Psalms 113, verse 2. 113:2. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. 113:2. Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. Psalm 113:2. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. Heaven is going to be so beautiful, you guys. What I cannot wait about heaven is all the praying and problems I'm going through now. I'm never going to have to worry about that. Chapter 2, verse 22, he revealeth. I love that. Verse 22. Revelation is, 22 is the number of revelation. Revelation. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Job 12:22. Oh, shoot. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. Oh, you know what? Psalms 113:2. Oh, there is no. Okay, blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. Job 12:22. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. Daniel chapter 2, verse 22. Okay. Daniel 5:11. There is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, the king, I say, thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. Verse 2. This is verse 2. Belshazzar, whilst he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. James 1:17. Oh shoot. I love that verse. Reveal the deep and secret things he knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Cometh down from the Father of lights, I believe James 1:17 says. Oh, in him is no variation or shadow of turning. Hebrews, James. Um, 1:17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Before that says, do not err, my beloved brethren. And after that, verse 18, of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. 55. Chapter 2, verse 18. And verse 23 references chapter 2, verse 18, which references Matthew 18:12. That they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Let's see Matthew 18:12 again. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99, 90 and 9, and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? I love that song. I'd leave 99, leave them all behind to find you. As for thee, O king, chapter 2, verse 29, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter, and he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. Verse 22, he revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. You guys, I'm going to stop this right quick. I'm going to start it up again when I'm done. I gotta go take care of something. I'll be right back. Love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out. Thank you for watching.